chosen one. Pause right here and listen with your spirit before your mind tries to reason this moment away. You are not watching by accident. You were drawn here by divine appointment, by a precise alignment of heaven's timing and your obedience. I'm not making this up. It's a Chihiro's moment, which means that God has come into time and broken up the normal to free the unique person he has chosen. Right now there is a shift going on around you. Something is happening in the background on purpose and in a supernatural way. It could happen today, tonight, or in the days to come. Don't get it wrong, though the season has changed. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, the Bible says that everything has its time and you have entered a time that calls for respect, awareness, and restraint. You can't say what season it is yet. Now is the time to protect. Dear Anointed One, God is moving faster than you can understand. Things that have been put off are not denied. What has been kept secret is getting ready. At the right time, God will make it happen quickly, says Isaiah 6:7-22. The right time is getting close, and keeping quiet is part of the plan. Be still, chosen one. Let people expect more. It's already clear what heaven is going to do in you, through you, and for you. It needs to be lined up. Stay here. You shouldn't play with this word. It is meant to change things. Picked. Listen to this slowly and let it sink in. Most of the time, God doesn't raise you up in front of a crowd. He first hides you. I understand how confusing that is because everything tells you that promotion should be big, loud, and happy. But things are different in heaven. It looks like isolation, but it's really incubation. What feels like being ignored is actually God's way of keeping things safe. You aren't being forgotten. Someone is watching out for you while something holy forms below the surface. Prophet, your life is following a plan that is being carried out behind the scenes right now. Heaven sees everything you can't see yet. There are fewer people who can get to it. The faster it grows, I've been through this. During some times, I felt like all the doors shut overnight. Talking stopped and even people who used to help me stopped talking. I thought something was wrong with me at the time. When I think back, I see that God was getting rid of witnesses who weren't needed. He taught me that not everyone should be able to see what he is building first picked. That's why the Spirit has been telling you not to share so much. Reason time is holy, not because people are bad. Some seeds can't handle being out in the open all the time. They need soil, darkness, and silence. They can't grow roots. If you keep digging them up to show other people, this is something I learned the hard way. I told people about my plans and dreams before they were ready. And I saw their excitement turn into stress, doubt, and spiritual resistance. Heaven had to slow me down so I wouldn't mess up what God started. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us lift up the burdens of others and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life right now. Something very powerful is going on in your life. It has everything to do with breakthrough. This isn't just spiritual growth or the sake of growth. This is getting ready for a transfer, a promotion, an increase, or access you've never had before. Doors to money, spiritual power, and influence without having to work hard for them. But pay close attention, chosen one. What God is about to give out needs to be handled carefully. The more important the task, the more silence is needed. I want to talk to you as someone who has been through hidden seasons, not just learned about them. Sometimes I felt like I needed to explain myself to make up for the fact that I wasn't posting, announcing, or proving anything, or that I was acting differently. But every time I opened my mouth, I felt a soft check in my spirit. It wasn't fear. It was divine restraint. God taught me how to carry heavy things without letting go of my glory. Chosen one, heaven is stepping in to help you right now. What you thought was a delay was actually God's choice. God was keeping your next level from being exposed too soon. You don't let people know about construction zones. You keep them safe until the building is ready to stand. And God is strengthening your base right now. It's because of this that you feel pulled inward. Conversations feel flat and you want to keep the peace more than explain your plans. This is not cashing out. This is smart. There is also a supernatural change going on with this silence. God starts to move inside you when you stop talking to other people. Alignment gets better, clarity gets better. And things start to quietly line up in ways I couldn't make up. I've seen this happen. Chances came up without any advertising. The money came in ways that were not expected. Favor went into rooms before I did. I hadn't even gone in yet. That is the power of following along quietly. When you stop telling the story of what's going on, heaven moves faster. Picked. The Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes 37 that there are times to speak and times to be quiet. You're in the silent phase. Not because you don't have anything to say, but because what you carry is growing. Now, silence is not the same as absence. It is a plan. It's wartime. The enemy can't attack something. He doesn't know what it is. Every word said too soon becomes a target. Every explanation leads to opinions that were never put on your fate. You are learning to let the fruit talk before you speak. And yes, that leads to misunderstanding. Some people might call you far away. Some people might say you've changed. They might think they deserve access that you no longer give them. Let them think what they need to. They can't see the fire that is refining. The weight doesn't bother them. God is getting you ready to carry. They don't hear the quiet instructions you give them. Pick it. It's not time to shrink this season. It's about getting stronger. God is showing you how to move quietly, how to move forward without saying anything, what to do to receive without proving it. And this lesson comes with supernatural advertising, not pushed or chased. Let go at the right time. It won't need to be explained. Holy One, stay with me because the next Thing we're going to talk about is why too much exposure leads to spiritual leaks and how silence sets you up for divine. When heaven lifts you up, it will be clear. Transfer instead of spiritual resistance. Picked. As of late, heaven has been limiting your words for a reason. It's more than just protection too. Silence doesn't just protect what God is making. It gets you ready for a supernatural transfer. When heaven is getting ready to give you resources, power, and favor, the first thing it does is see if your spirit can carry weight without making noise. You need to be mature, careful, and trusting to go into what you are going into because it will get people's attention whether you want it to or not. A noted one, I want you to understand something from real life, snorts not from theory. Every big personal or spiritual breakthrough I've ever seen came after a time when God told me to stop talking and start listening. As soon as I began to talk about my plans, doors quietly opened. As soon as I stopped saying what I expected, provision appeared out of the blue. Being quiet resets your alignment. It gets rid of interference. It makes the way clear for you to reach heaven. Heaven is stepping into your life right now in ways you can't see yet. Things that can't be seen are moving. Conversations are going on without you there. Your decisions are being affected without you doing anything. Powerful people are thinking about you, but they don't know why. The way divine promotion works is like this. It's not forced. It's planned out. You should also avoid getting in the way of words as much as possible. Picked, it's dangerous to be too exposed because it leads to spiritual leakage. When you talk before the time is right, your energy goes down, the pace slows down. Clarity breaks down. This was taught to me when I spoke out loud promises that were meant to be prayed over, not talked about. It went from being exciting to being stressful. Things that should have grown on their own got heavy. I learned from God's lessons that not everything He shows me is meant to be repeated. Not all things are announcements. Some are instructions. This is why you haven't heard much from heaven lately. No, not silent but picky. God controls what comes to you and what goes away. He is showing you how to handle revelation. You move differently when you have something holy on your back. You don't say anything, you don't fight back, you don't try to win. You give God the chance to confirm what He began. It never needs your help either. This lack of speech also has a financial aspect to it. I say this slowly but clearly. Often God's provision comes at times when pride has been stripped away and trust in God has been restored. God sets you up to be supplied when you stop trying to be seen. Heaven starts to plant plenty. When you stop talking about lack, not since words are magic, but since being in the right place gives you power. You are being taught how to receive without chasing, promote without self-promotion, and grow without making noise. This is why some chances have stopped in denial. It is not. It's called calibration. That the transfer doesn't crush you is something God is making sure of. He is making your inner structure stronger so that you can handle what is coming. I remember times when I felt like I needed to do more, explain more, and get things done. I learned to trust silence, though, and every time I did, God took a precise step forward. He lined up what I couldn't get in order, what I couldn't pay for, He did. He stood up for things I couldn't. He could work in peace. Picked. This is also about having spiritual power. Your words have more weight when you speak less. Heaven pays close attention to people who don't talk without thinking. There is a reason why Habakkuk 2:73 tells us that the vision will come at the right time. It's not in a hurry because it knows exactly when to show up. That same rhythm is being taught to you. It's not passive to be patient. It means having faith in God's timing. Right now, God is quietly giving you wisdom, discernment, and favor. You might feel like you know what's going to happen before it does. That you're being led without being told, and that making decisions is getting easier and cleaner. This is proof of alignment. Silence makes things clear. Noise dulls it. Picked. Not everyone needs to know about your journey. Some people are in charge of your end goal, not your process. When you speak too soon, you let people who can't protect your future judge your future. God is teaching you how to keep people from getting in. How to tell who hears what and how to know when to be quiet and still. There will be no more of this season. While silence isn't a home, it is an important bridge. On the other side, there is more stability, peace, and favor without fear, as well as visibility. Heaven is getting you ready to walk into rooms and not say how you got there. It means to accept without saying sorry and to stand without shrinking. Hold on tight, chosen one, there is nothing there. When you walk through the quiet, it's alignment before speed up picked. As you go through this phase, you are learning a language. A lot of people never learn how to use language to be calm. Heaven is not just making plans for you. It changes the way you stand. You are learning how to stand up for yourself without being asked, trust without proof, and move without saying anything. This is not a mistake. It's getting ready for influence that won't need to be confirmed when it comes. Beloved one, you learn to hear things differently when you are quiet. When noise is gone, you can see things more clearly. Instead of arguing about your options, you start to feel which way to go. You can see that peace, not pressure, is making decisions. This is how God gets people ready for responsibility before He gives them power. He sets up alignment on the inside. The skill you are learning now is discernment, which can't be taught in public places. There is a spiritual promotion going on in the background of you. It won't have a warning or a countdown. You'll just realize one day that doors react differently to you. People listen, but don't understand why resistance goes away without a fight. It looks like this when God raises someone who has learned to be still. Silence makes things heavier. Having it makes you seem more important. Picked from personal experience, I want to tell you the truth. During this season, it's hardest to fight the urge to get clear. People should know what your plans are, why you're late, and what's changing. But God is teaching you that giving reasons often makes things less authoritative. You put yourself in places you weren't meant to be in when you explain too much. Heaven doesn't talk about fate, it makes it happen. You are also learning that you don't have to answer every reaction. It's not agreement to be quiet, it is a choice. You get to decide where your energy goes. You save strength every time you don't defend yourself and keep quiet. That strength is being saved for times when things really matter. This is what makes you strong. You, the anointed one, are receiving a boost of confidence. Not confidence that shouts, but confidence that is rooted. The kind that doesn't rise and fall to fit in. This is the kind of confidence that lets you wait without worrying and move without being afraid. It comes from knowing that God is planning things ahead of time that you can't change. You may have noticed that some people don't talk to you as much as they used to. The conversations are forced. Being in places you're used to can be draining. This isn't being cocky, it is shifting the alignment. God is adjusting the atmosphere around you. He is limiting your exposure to help your spirit stay stable. In order to grow, you often have to subtract before you can add. You are also learning to be patient with yourself through chosen one silence. It takes time to become who you want to be. That change doesn't happen right away, even if it's clear what the promise is. In Isaiah 1622, the Bible tells us that God makes things happen quickly when the time is right. Quickly does not mean too soon, it means very clearly. The promise is kept safe by timing. In this quiet, there is also healing going on. Old wounds that needed to be cared for but not talked about. Patterns that needed to be known, not made public, because there is no performance. God heals deeply in silence. You're not healing to show off. You are getting better for good, unnoted one. Heaven is watching how you deal with not being seen. This isn't a punishment. The test is an evaluation. Can you stay true even when no one is cheering? When no one is looking, can you stay on track? Are you able to stay thankful? When your progress isn't obvious. These are the questions that show if someone is ready. I've seen this season separate people who want attention from those who have work to do. People who need to be noticed get antsy when it's quiet. Given ones get stronger. You're getting stronger, your roots are getting stronger. That's why storms don't throw you off like they used to. A person chosen. God hides people for a reason before he uses them in public. The hidden seasons show the reasons. They make obedience better. They get rid of the need for applause. Clear thinking comes out of it. When you do speak again, the way your words hit will be different. They won't check with anyone first. They will be in charge. You're not getting behind. You are getting stronger. The silence you're experiencing right now is building up your inner strength, which will help you grow outward. You won't be shaken when the promotion comes. When the increase comes, it won't bother you. Visibility will not define you when it comes back. Hold on tight, anointed one. The peace and quiet you value are creating something that noise could never do. You are getting ready for what lasts. Trust this moment. Even if it seems slow, even if your emotions want to move, trust the stillness. What feels like waiting is actually making it easier for you to receive. God is making you more spiritually strong, so that the blessings don't get too much for you. This season will make sense in the end. Follow through is enough for now. Don't move. Be humble. Don't talk. Heaven is still not done. It is exact, planned, and close. Being careful now will pay off in the long run. And what you let God finish behind your back will stand strong when everyone sees it. This is getting ready for divine elevation. Picked. This season is also teaching you to trust things that you can't see or touch. You are learning that God doesn't always show progress with things that can be seen. Progress isn't always visible inside or deeply rooted. Right now, what's being changed is not your outside world, but your inner structure. Heaven is making your spiritual back stronger, so that you don't bend when weight is put on it. Blessed one, delay and design are not the same thing. The delay seems random and annoying. The design is calm, well thought out and exact. Design is what you are feeling right now. You are not being kept from God. He is setting you up. He is making sure that your thoughts, habits, judgment, and feelings are all in line with the level you are about to enter. It is dangerous to elevate without aligning. That's why heaven takes its time. You might feel like you're not moving while everyone else is, but pay close attention, chosen one. Speed and direction are not the same thing. A lot of people move quickly around. Heaven cares more about accuracy than speed. God would rather move you correct once than move you too quickly and have to fix what breaks. The Spirit can lead when there is silence. You're also getting better at trusting people. Do not trust people, but trust in God's hand that you can't see. You are learning how to obey without being reassured and how to stay true without being told over and over again. This shows a grown-up faith. This is the faith that makes someone fit to be a steward. Not just a blessing that anyone can get, but also something that not many people can do. You are being ready to handle access, anointed one. Get information, have power, get resources, and talk to people in charge. Access always needs to be limited. The more access God gives you, the more you need to train your spirit. Right now, that discipline is being built up quietly without any cheers. You might notice that the way you pray is different. Now, there is less talking and more listening. You are asking fewer questions and getting clearer ideas. This is not a mistake. You can hear better spiritually when it's quiet. You are learning to sense timing instead of forcing outcomes when the noise of explanations goes away and clarity of direction comes in. Chosen one. There's a reason why God often takes away distractions before giving you provision. Distraction takes away from capacity. Focus is needed for provision. Heaven is making room in your life right now, so you can receive what is coming. It would have been weaker, mismanaged, or misunderstood if God had let it out earlier. The right time protects both the gift and the person carrying it. Now I want to talk from real life again. There were times when I thought I was ready, but God kept me from being ready because He wanted to save me. When I think back, I can see how being immature would have caused me to miss out on chances, and how my emotional responses would have hurt relationships. How pride would have crept in without being seen. Because silence showed those flaws, they could be fixed before they became a problem. Beloved one, a new start is also in the air this season. God is changing what you think of as success. There should be less noise, comparison, and hurry. There should be more peace, clarity, and stability. These lessons teach you that success is not being seen, but being in the right place. Instead of praise, people want to be trusted. The world and heaven have different sizes. You might feel alone sometimes, but that's not the same thing as being abandoned. It's separation to make things clear. God is teaching you how to be at ease with Him without any other comforts. You become powerful when you don't need to interact with other people all the time to feel validated. Silence breaks the need for outside approval. Picked. There's also a transfer of resilience going on. You are less likely to react, be upset, or get caught up in emotional storms. Being numb is not this. That's strength. Strength that lets you stay calm when other people are freaking out. Strength that lets you see clearly even when other people are rushing. Strength that makes you a stabilizer instead of a responder. This is the kind of inner authority that comes before promotion from the outside. People who can bring peace into chaos are praised by God, not people who make chaos worse. Your ability to hold back makes you qualified to be a leader later. A leader is someone who shows up, not someone who has a title. Beloved one, you learn to let God fight the battles. You used to fight yourself through silence. You are learning that you don't have to clear up every misunderstanding or deal with every false story. God stands behind what He writes. The farther away you are, the better you can see His hand. You're quietly becoming more sure of yourself, not pride but confidence. The promise that you don't have to hurry, chase, or prove anything. You are getting rooted, and people who are rooted are hard to move. You have been chosen, and now the season is over. Even though silence doesn't last, its effects do. God is building things in you right now that will help you for a long time. It will keep you safe when visibility goes up. It will keep you steady when you have more responsibilities. It will keep you steady when other people put their expectations on you. Stay true to what you can't see. Do what you're told in the quiet. Do not rush the process. Heaven is not running late. It's right on. What's coming will make sense of everything you kept back, protected, and gave up this season. The peace and quiet you value now will help you be strong in the future. God is still not done. He is exact. Picked. At this point in your journey, you're getting better at how you handle expectations. In this lesson, God is teaching you how to keep a promise without stress, worry, or pressure. How calmly you handle what's coming next will depend on what you are learning right now. A lot of people want to be higher, but not many are ready for the weight that comes with it. Heaven is getting you ready from the inside out. Anointed One, the silence is teaching you how to control your urges. You are learning that not every chance needs to be acted on right away. And not every open door is meant for you. The ability to discern is getting better. You are picking and choosing, not being afraid, being deliberate, not hesitant. This shows that you are an adult. God trusts people who don't try to rush what He hasn't given them yet. There may be times when you get impatient, especially when you think you're almost through. That tension doesn't mean you should speak or act before you're ready. It tells you that you are getting close to a threshold. Before the transition, the pressure goes up. That's not all that silence means at this point. Wisdom is keeping momentum in check. Picked. In this silence, there is a supernatural exchange going on. Adaptive alignment is taking the place of old habits of reacting. The way you used to answer has changed. You take a break. You pay attention. Wait, that pause is holy. Heaven talks during that pause. This is how divine strategy comes out, not by making noise, but by being quiet. I want to be honest once more. There were times when I didn't like being quiet. It almost felt wrong. I needed to feel better. I wanted other people to confirm it. But every time I fought the urge to speak up and stayed quiet, I became clear. The fact that there was peace afterward showed that people had obeyed. When it is in line with God, silence always brings peace. Beloved one, God is also cleansing your need for attention. Even though recognition isn't bad, relying on it makes it harder to see things clearly. Heaven is showing you how to move without being seen. Once you've learned that lesson, fame will come your way without changing you. This is not punishment, it's safety. Some people may notice that their goals feel more rooted in purpose and less driven by comparison and competition. That change is very important. God doesn't give power to people whose hearts He hasn't cleaned. Silence makes intentions clear quickly. You find out why you do what you do when there are no people around. Picked. Also, there is a divine transfer of patience going on. It's not passive to be patient. It is strength that is controlled. It means being able to wait without getting weak. Heaven is putting this into you so that when doors open, you can walk through them with confidence instead of need. Desperation leads to giving in. Precision comes from patience. This season is also teaching you how to be still and receive. Some of the best things in life don't come with announcements. They show up as small changes. A conversation that goes in a different direction. A choice that was made in your favor without giving any reason. A weight was taken off without warning. These things show that heaven is moving. Beloved one, when you're quiet, you can notice these moments. Noise makes it hard to see. Being still makes it sharper. As time goes on, you become more aware, intuitive, and grounded. This is not a mistake. It gets you ready to be a steward. People who get sidetracked easily don't get much from God. It may seem like your world is smaller now, but you can see things more clearly. This is done on purpose. God often makes the outside smaller so that the inside can get bigger. When things are stable inside you, growth outside of you doesn't overwhelm you. This story also teaches us about trust. Trusting God when other people can't understand you. Trusting God when it's hard to see progress. It's risky to trust God when it's quiet. This kind of trust makes you spiritually powerful. Authority grows in secret before it shows up in public. I've seen this pattern many times. When people talk too much about God, things often stop moving. People who look out for what God is doing tend to move faster. Destiny does not wait for silence. It keeps it safe. What you protect now will get there in one piece later. Heaven is also teaching you how to let go of control, anointed one. You can't control how people see things. When you stop telling stories, you let God decide what will happen. This is freedom. Take care of exhausts. Trust comes back. You are feeling calmer and it's getting harder to shake. That calm is proof that everything is in place. In other words, your spirit is no longer going against God's pace. It's important to learn to move and rest at the same time. This beat is the beat of heaven, picked. What is taking shape right now will need to be expressed soon, but not yet. This is the last strengthening step before the release. Like building something stronger before putting weight on it. God is making sure you can stand without breaking. Do what you're told in this quiet. Don't move around. Keep your mind clear. You don't need anything else. You will not miss anything that was given to you. Heaven is exact and it won't ask you to explain. When the next shift happens, it will make itself known through fruit, stability, and favor that can't be denied. Once silence has done its job. God is also teaching you how to recognize divine signs without any outside confirmation. During this quiet season, you are learning to put your inner alignment ahead of what other people say. This is very important because the level you are getting close to won't always come with explanations. You will need confidence that comes from knowing what to do, not reassurance from other people. Every day the silence makes that confidence stronger, unknown one. You may have noticed that you can hear things better. You can tell when to move and when to wait without having to explain it. This isn't making things up. Spiritual sensitivity is getting better. God makes it easier for people to understand when things are happening. When He is getting them ready for a supernatural promotion. You are learning to move easily to the beat of heaven, not the speed of the world. You are also feeling cleaner in the way you react emotionally. Things that used to make me scared, angry, or defensive now make me calm. That calm isn't a sign of not caring, it's the truth. Authority doesn't do anything. It replies. And most of the time, it stays quiet because it knows that reacting is pointless. God is teaching you how to work from that place. Picked. Being quiet shows who you really depend on. Your trust is clear when you keep your voice down. You can start to tell if your faith is in God or in feedback. Heaven is gently taking away your wrong dependence, so that your base is strong. This isn't loss. Correction is what keeps your future safe. I want to tell you the truth. At times I thought that being quiet was a sign of weakness. I was afraid of not being understood. I was afraid of missing chances. But every time I chose to obey over asking why, God surprised me with results I couldn't have planned. What I thought would take work turned out to need surrender instead. God was able to do what he needed to do when there was silence. Beloved one, you are also becoming smarter about people during this season. You are starting to figure out who respects your limits and who doesn't. Silence shows intentions. Those who care about your future will respect your choice to be calm. Those who have access to you fight it. It's a gift to be so clear. It keeps your spirit from leaking out. Your life is also being rearranged in a supernatural way. The relationships are changing. The way people talk is changing. Invitations are going down. There is no rejection here. It's a step up. God is limiting your surroundings to keep your spirit clean. Growth comes after. First, there is purity. Picked. Heaven is also getting you ready to be responsible with money to grow. You need to be disciplined. A lot of things without any wisdom lead to chaos. God is changing the way you make choices so that you can handle provision without fear or pride. When you're quiet, you can think more clearly and act less quickly. You are getting ready to receive without letting what you receive control you. There may be times when help seems close, but not quite visible. That was done on purpose. God often makes sure we are ready before letting us go. To protect, not to hold back. It won't throw you off when the transfer happens. It will help what God has already put together inside you. Beloved one, you are also learning new ways to pray through silence. Your prayers are less reacting and more aligned, and they are less emotional and more planned. No longer are you praying to get God to agree with you in your prayers. You ask to agree with him. That change is strong. Agreement speeds up manifestation. You're also learning to let go of unanswered questions. It's not that you no longer care, but because you trust that God will answer them when he does. This kind of trust isn't common. It means your adulthood. Heaven gives responsibility to people who don't freak out when things take a while to become clear. You are being taught how to keep the peace when things are uncertain. Chosen one. One of the most spiritual skills you can have is this. As long as there is peace, fear can't get in. This peace is strengthened by silence. It lets the truth stand alone without any other thoughts. A lot of people have missed moments because they couldn't stand the quiet. They talked, did things, and made noise to fill the silence. In this way they blocked out direction. You are making a different choice. You are hearing that choice will set you apart in important ways. Beloved one, you are also learning how to rest without feeling guilty in heaven. To rest is not to do nothing. Trust is shown in this way. When you stop trying, God starts planning how things will turn out. Silence is often the best way to rest. At rest, alignment gets stronger. In a quiet way, there is also an increase in spiritual authority. Holding back gives you more authority. When you do speak, your words will have more weight if you don't say anything else. God wants you to speak with purpose instead of rashness. Chosen one, this season is shaping how you will lead in the future. Leaders who can't keep quiet often give up or give in. Leaders who know how to use timing can keep their power. You are being trained for long-term success, not short-term fame. Hold on tight in this quiet. Don't give up on what seems small. Every choice that can't be seen makes strength that can be seen. Heaven isn't quiet around you. It's working deep inside you. Soon the things that have been growing in silence will come out in a strong, clear, and stable way. Silence is doing what it was asked to do. Picked. This stage shows us something very important about how heaven gets its vessels ready to be released. God is also making plans for what you will do. He is making you ready for what will happen. You are learning how to be stable through the silence you are walking through. Being stable is what keeps blessing from falling apart under its own weight. A lot of people can receive, but not many can keep going. Dear Anointed One, you are learning how to not be affected by time pressure. Fear speaks through urgency, not faith. With faith, things move slowly but surely. God is showing you how to tell the difference. When things are really in sync, they don't push you, it calms you down. Even though you don't have all the answers yet, the peace you feel now is proof that things are coming together. Additionally, you are becoming more sure of who you are. As the noise around you dies down, your identity becomes clearer. You're not judging yourself by how others react, how you compare, or how much approval you get. No one is watching as you figure out who you are. That's the version of you that God will make better. Getting higher without a clear identity leads to confusion. Identity comes before elevation, which makes authority picked. When you're quiet, your need to be right goes away. You no longer feel like you have to change people's minds or control their opinions. That release feels good. God starts to defend outcomes when you stop defending yourself. This change is quiet but strong. You are moving from protecting yourself to being covered by God. There have been times when being quiet made me feel weak. But I learned that being weak in front of God makes you strong in front of other people. The times I stopped trying to explain things were the times I got it. God didn't need my voice to make things better for me. I had to trust Him. Beloved one, this season also shows you who really sees you. When you stop telling people about the ones that are assigned to you, remember how valuable you are. The ones that are only given access to you get antsy. This separation is planned. It keeps your next chapter from getting messed up. You might get fewer invitations, have fewer conversations, and be distracted less often. This isn't loss, it's getting back to focus. God often lowers the noise before making people more responsible. When your focus gets stronger, you get more done. You can focus better in silence. Chosen One, heaven also teaches you how to let things build up on their own. It doesn't last long when you force momentum. Divine momentum keeps going. It's getting faster below the surface right now. You can feel it but not see it. There is a quiet readiness building up inside you. Being ready is more important than being excited. Beloved one, there is also a growth in wisdom going on. Reflection, not reaction, is what makes you wiser. Silence gives you time to think. In that place, understanding takes hold. You are getting a better sense of patterns. You have a better sense of time. You can tell when something is aligned without having to be told. This season also helps with being impatient. Fear of missing out is a common reason why people are impatient. You are learning from God that nothing that is meant for you can miss you. That truth makes me feel better, when you really believe that giving up is the end. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description, or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COF community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. Picked one, your voice gets better when you're quiet. When you talk less, what you say means more. God is getting your speech ready so that it makes an impact, not just noise. You will be able to say something powerful. When the time comes, because you have been quiet, you are also learning how to wait without getting bored. Waiting doesn't mean you have to stop living. It means being present without trying to change what will happen. This balance is grown up. Heaven believes in people who can wait without giving up or getting antsy. Beloved one, a quiet confidence is growing in you that doesn't need to be backed up by anyone else. It's not loud, but this confidence stays strong. It lets you move forward without stopping or feeling pushed. That trust is what makes influence possible. I need you to fully understand something. This season is not a time to get ready to survive. It gets you ready to be a steward. God isn't helping you with anything. He's getting you ready for something. That difference is important. Picked. Being quiet also teaches you to respect other people's timing. You become more understanding of other people's processes. As you practice patience with your own, this gives you more leadership skills. Leaders who can't wait often abuse their power. In addition, you are becoming more spiritually aware. You can feel changes in the air. You know when to step back. You can tell when something isn't right. This sensitivity is not based on feelings. It's discernment made better by being still. Unnoted one. Heaven is watching how you handle this piece. In silence, stewardship decides who is responsible in public. God doesn't like noise. He encourages people to be loyal. People who are faithful often look calm. Hold on to reality, chosen one. You're not as far away as you think. The silence isn't going on forever. It's done what it needs to do. It will not feel forced that what comes next. It will be easy to spot because it comes with peace. Stay steady. Do what you're told. Do not speak. Heaven is ending what it began. Picked. Nothing new is being added by this last movement. What's being sealed is what's already been made. The sound of silence is over. Now integration is all that's left. Integration means that who you are becoming and where you want to go finally match up. At this point, heaven confirms alignment not with signs, but with stability. Beloved one, you might feel like you're not as upset as you were before. Things that were once important don't seem as important now. Being numb is not this. Now this is mastery. God has been making your inner leadership stronger. When feelings don't decide what to do, authority can step in. Authority always starts from within. You are also growing a quiet courage. It's not the courage that makes itself known. It takes courage to act when no one is around. With this much courage, you can make choices without being praised and leave without giving a reason. That strength is stronger than any amount of confidence you could ever have. You are now in a phase where consistency is more important than intensity. Chosen one, God is not interested in getting happy. He wants you to always obey Him. What intensity can only start, consistency can keep going. That's why you're moving less quickly. Now, it's not regression to be slow. its accuracy. I want to talk about this from personal experience. The most important breakthroughs in my life did not happen when I was feeling excited. They came after being faithful for a long time. On the inside, everything was going as planned, but nothing exciting was happening on the outside. Everything changed because of that line. Anointed One, heaven is getting ready to give you visibility. But being seen won't come from being exposed. It will come up as a responsibility. People will start to look for your advice. Not because you advertised it, but because you were there. Influence will grow on its own. You also start to be able to discern things without thinking about it. No longer do you think about everything. You get it? When trained by stillness, discernment moves faster than logic. This instinct will help you make choices that logic alone can't figure out. Picked. You might also feel less hurt by what happens. Wins no longer make you bigger. You're no longer deflated by delays. This emotional balance shows that you are an adult. Being mature is what makes promotion last. God doesn't hurry. The people He wants to help. You are building a strong bond of trust with heaven. Trust goes both ways because you have learned to trust God's timing. He is giving you more power. Transactional is not the word here. That's what it means. When you trust heaven, it takes responsibility. Beloved one, the silence has also helped you figure out what's most important to you. What was once important doesn't seem as important now. What didn't seem necessary before now does. This rearranging is beautiful. It makes sure that when the doors open, you go through the right ones without being distracted. Also, you are learning how to bring peace to places that aren't peaceful. This is being a leader. Leaders don't let chaos take over. They keep it in check. Before you speak, your calm will start to move rooms. That's the sound of power picked. The coming season will need more discernment than explanation. You won't have to explain your choices. They will ask you to stand by them. To stand, you need confidence that comes from conviction, not agreement. Along with this, your faith is getting stronger. Faith is less about what you hope for and more about what you trust. You're not measuring progress by how much you can see. Its inner alignment is how you measure it. This is faith that has grown. You are no longer waiting, anointed one. You are in place. It's uncomfortable to wait. Positioning feels stable. Your spirit won't be surprised by what comes next. It doesn't matter if it surprises you. You might start to notice that chances come up on their own. This is not a mistake. It's about time. Once the alignment is complete, it's easy to move. God doesn't push on paths that are straight-picked. Do not forget this. You were not held up by silence. It made you who you are. Now what you carry has depth. Depth keeps you from falling when elevation comes. As you move forward, don't give too much information about your journey. Don't be afraid to be consistent. You should let your fruit answer. Keep your peace as proof. Anointed one, heaven isn't telling you to keep quiet forever. This message wants you to always be wise. Talk when told, move when shown, and rest when told. The process is not over yet. It's the end of the preparation process. What happens next will prove what the silence meant. Stay on the ground. Stay thankful. Pay close attention. You're not going into noise. You are taking a step toward your dream. This season is sealed by heaven. It will be clear what opens next. Picked. As this moment comes to an end, know this for sure: what heaven has started. The job is already done. This wasn't just a message to hear.